1320 WILS Morning Wake Up. I'm about to enter into a personal quest of a unique proportion. I've got 4 kids, great kids. The 4th one is about to enter college. That means soon we'll be through all of that, and most of them went through kindergarten through 12th grade in parochial school. So when people tell me about college tuition, I'm like, hey, you know, I was paying tuition a long time ago. But guess what? The question now people are asking is it worth the cost? No one ever asked that when I went to college. It was obviously worth the cost. Now they're asking it because the price to pay is so big. Catherine Marr is joining me, certified admissions advisor. She works with families to go through the process here. Families like mine. Catherine, good morning.
Good morning, and congratulations on getting number 4 ready for college.
It's, yeah. Oh, she's definitely ready. She's got great grades, and all of them have done great with that. And like I say, 2 out, and 2 out, 1 on base, and 1 coming up to the plate. I should say 2 have come home safely, you know, like baseball analogy.
Right.
But they've all done it with what I would say a relatively low, hanging out the backside with debt, and 1 already getting a great knockdown on what he has, which is not a lot. But the good part about that is that they've thought about it themselves. The bad part is I know that for many, many college students, this is not the case, and they are absolutely upside down and in a horrible position debt-wise.
Absolutely. One of the problems that we have today is that because colleges do not have skin in the game, it is not an incentive on their part to educate the students on how to manage their debt, how to manage their loans, how to manage their money in general. So students go off to college today, and many of them don't have parents like you sound to be, where you have really worked with your children to be responsible and to understand what things cost.
Well,
so students
we have not been perfect. Do not get me wrong, but you know, the cost of everything is always, it's right there. It's just not there's no rubber stamp and an open blank check. You know, there was a school, maybe you're familiar with it. There was a school, I think it's still around, when I worked in Missouri, and it was called College of the Ozarks. It may be University of the Ozarks now.
Yes.
Well, okay, they're in Point Lookout, a pretty little town above the lake, Table Rock Lake, and one of their mantras there was, you know, everybody can come to college here, but if you can get in, you're not going to graduate with debt. You're going to work it off. You're going to work in the barns. You're going to work. That used to go on here at Michigan State. And I'm not talking about work study. I mean like hard work, hard labor, and it would go into it. But that's a rarity where kids graduate from a university without any kind of debt whatsoever, pretty much across the board. It just isn't. It's not common in any way, shape, or form now, is it?
No, it isn't. And one of the things that kids entering high school need to remember is that academics are a key to getting money for college, that free money, academic money. And colleges are the ones who give the most money. Private institutions will pay students to come to their schools. It's a matter of the student looking for colleges that they offer more than the college was asking for. So kids need to really look at the schools they're applying to and also look at the types of majors they're considering and look at return on investment. Student loans are not the way to go, and if they are going into liberal arts, they need to make sure that the career centers at the colleges they apply to have an effective link with their alums and also help them get internships and summer jobs so they come out with skills when they graduate.
What's your take on the for-profit universities and the ones that operate online? Because it seems like some of them have a very high price tag, and a lot of kids and older people getting loans to try to get degrees that way that are kind of sketchy.
They are sketchy. I do not support for-profit schools. I think every student has the right for a degree if they want to pursue it, but they certainly should weigh not going to a for-profit school for that degree.
Yeah, and they're there, but they're getting more scrutiny now. I don't think there's any doubt about that either. The idea, though, of how far it's outpaced the rate of inflation since the time I went to college is honestly, Catherine, mind-boggling to me right now. How did we get to this point where the cost of both tuition, Room and board. Room and board is very simple, but tuition has just outpaced inflation to a ridiculous degree. How did we get to this point?
Well, Bill Bennett, the former Secretary of Education, came up with a great hypothesis back in the 80s. And it still is valid today, and it's been restudied and revisited, et cetera, and they still confirm that it has a major point, and that is that the more federal money a school gets, the better chance for an increase in tuition. So the issue is that the amenities at schools are very competitive. So one of them is going to have a better climbing wall than the next one, or one of them is going to have prettier grounds and groundskeeping than the next one, or another one may have better support staff to help the students when they are in crisis or whatever. And these are people that are not revenue generators for the college. And then you have cost and demand. As long as there are people who are willing to pay, there's going to be an increase.
And so the expectation is now there amongst parents and students of amenities. I mean, my university at the dorm, a renovation included hammering new nails to hang your parka on. I mean, it just,
Right, or a new coat of paint.
Yeah, or, after Saturday night bacchanal debaucheries, we get in sooner and got the mop to clean up, the common area. I mean, it's, great.
Right.
Wow, what an improvement. I mean, this is you would go eat in a cafeteria, and it was true cafeteria food. It looked like Animal House. It did. It looked exactly like that. So, I mean, what parents is part of the problem, too, that parents go with students, and they go to universities, and they expect it to look like Club Med instead of a place to go and learn, and maybe a more, quote-unquote, Spartan environment?
Yes. I think there is a disconnect as to what college is all about. And there are an awful lot of students out there today that, are entitled. They feel very entitled. And so they think that if they're going to go to college, they better go to a really first-class environment. And that's not necessarily the way to get a good education. So students really need to weigh, what is that college going to offer them, and is it a good fit? And what is the return on investment if I'm going to major in English?
Well,
will I graduate in 4 years?
Yeah, and will you be taught and do tutorials with full professors versus either grad students or assistants that you're paying how many hundreds of dollars per credit hour for? I paid $17, $18 credit hour at full professors. So you pay your money, make your choice, because you are paying your money over and over and over and over again. Catherine, where can we find you online so people might want to reach out, get some information, assistance, and help?
Great. Well, it's www.marscaa.com.
All right.
And I would love to hear from everybody.
CAA stands for Certified Admissions Advisor. Catherine Mars. Yeah, don't get sold down the wrong road with this. It's a great, college is a great investment, but I mean, now it has to be. It's very tricky. It's very tricky, and that goes for parents and grandparents and guardians as well. 1320 Morning Wake Up WILS.